back here once again, everyone. In a move that should really surprise no one, it sure as hell didn't surprise me. Because I mean, from what I've heard about it, this series wasn't very good at all. I had no interest in watching it. I did not even attempt to look at it. But according to this article from Bumping Into Comics, Netflix finds the cure, cancels live-action Resident Evil series after one season. As From Heels vs. Babyface and Jane Theory did reviews for every episode of this show, and it was terrible. I have not heard a single person, I've checked other reviews and everything, I have not heard a single person could say that this series was good at all. They went in and they made a lot of terrible decisions with it, and it did not go over well with the viewers. So, following in the footsteps of the streamer's bastardization of Cowboy Bebop, and that was a total mess, Netflix's live-action Resident Evil series has been cancelled after just one widely panned season. Word that Netflix had gone for the headshot on their take on Capcom's popular video game series was first broken on August 26, courtesy of Deadline, coming just a month and a half after its premiere. So not even 2 months. It didn't last. Not even 2 months. According to the trade news outlet sources, the decision was made based on their discovery that the drama did not have a particularly strong showing on Netflix's top 10 and cost versus viewing in the streamer's leading renewal criteria. Now, from what I know about the series, the protagonists are not well liked, right? They race swapped Wesker, right? They did it, and they came out saying, because it's Lance Reddick who's doing it, and he's a good actor, I don't know what to do with Lance Reddick, but then they have him dressed like Blade for some reason, because Wesker is a clone, and it's not making sense, because in the video game, Wesker has always been white. And you did this now because you want to push some kind of diversity and inclusion, and it didn't work. The female lead is not likable at all. And even from what I understand the story, it takes us in two separate timelines, one in the past, one in the future, but it's confusing and ridiculous, and people were not happy with it. Not to mention, when you look at the score for look at Rotten Tomato here. 55% critic score and 27% average audience score. And you go down here also, it's a meta score of 53%, user score of 1.4%. So it's not going over well. People are not happy. They didn't like the way that this thing was going on. They didn't like the way it was being handled at all. Now, how I knew this was going to happen, I did a video on this a while ago, but how I knew this was going to happen is because Resident Evil comes from Japan. Over there it's known as Biohazard. And when you look at what the Japanese people had to say about it, Japanese fans criticized Netflix's Resident Evil more like politically correct hazard. I did a video going through everything that they said. They talked about how they weren't happy about what they were doing, about the race swapping, about the all sort of stuff. Things that you know, I didn't want this to be the result of a blackwashed Resident Evil. Things I have said time and time again, and people will think it's racist, it is the other. No. If you wanted to do something, you could have created a group of characters and done an original series. Instead, you try to base the show off of, I think it was Resident Evil, one of the video games they tried to base it off of, while race swapping everyone and changing the story to literal ridiculous levels. It clearly didn't go over well with the very people in the country that it came from, and even worse, the people that you were trying to pander to on Netflix didn't like it. and before long, it got cancelled. So, not even a good 2 months after this has premiered, Netflix has cancelled their Resident Evil, just the same way they end up cancelling Cowboy Bebop. I just think there are certain things that should not be done in live action. Honestly, I think there's certain things shouldn't be done in live action. Most of these things come from manga, and then from manga they get made into anime. Leave it there. But when you keep trying to do these live action things that are not working out, I believe the next thing that Netflix have in the go is One Piece. They want to do a live action One Piece, and I am not having high hopes for that because, again, as I say, it could never be as good as the manga and the anime. They are able to do things there that they cannot do in live action. I don't think it's going to work. The same way I have serious doubts about the Avatar live action series also. Stop doing these things. If you want to make animated series for them, make animated things and done. Don't try this live action stuff. It doesn't work. And when you put it out there and you're smug with yourself and figure nobody's going to tell you anything and nobody's going to say anything and nobody's going to have a problem with it and you can do as you please, this is the result. You end up getting hard cancelled because you put out garbage, and then whenever it is people have a problem with it, you try to run out and scream racism and toxic fans and all kind of things, and this is what happens. You end up getting severely cancelled. One season, and that's the end of Netflix's live action Resident Evil. So apparently the T virus, a cure has been found for it. One headshot cancel, and that's the end of that. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you have a different opinion, I'd like to hear it. If you like the video, be sure to hit that thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. Ring the notification bell. Be notified every time I put out a new video. I shall see you all next time. Take care.